Welcome to the Biz Show, sponsored by InvestQuire. And now your host, Barry and Lisa.
Hi, Barry. How are you?
Lisa, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty darn good. I have no complaints.
You look great today.
Well, thank you. That's a very big compliment. I appreciate that.
Oh, always, always.
Welcome to the Biz Show, everybody.
Welcome to the Biz Show, episode number 4, Trends in Business Ownership, Entrepreneurship.
Yeah, it's the big hustle, right? To get rich quick.
That's what everybody's looking for, right? How do I get money in my wallet?
I know. It's like, how do we do this? And let's do it quick, right? Time is of the essence, which is what we're going to talk about today.
It is. And, there's a lot of hot trends kind of reshaping the landscape.
Of becoming an entrepreneur, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Again, about business ownership and entrepreneurship.
And you want to be successful, so we want to give you some tips on what to have on top of your mind when you are going into business or starting your own company. So let's get to it.
Let's get to it. So the first one is probably the biggest trend of all right now is micro-preneurship.
Micro sounds small.
It is small.
Yeah.
You could also think of it as solopreneurship, right? Or the solopreneur.
Right. You got an idea
You want
to start a business around it.
Exactly.
Right?
You do. These are small businesses that are like Etsy shops.
You may operate it from your home.
You probably do.
Yeah.
Home bakeries. Maybe you're doing. I know a couple people that actually do cupcakes and stuff like that. Yes.
And they just start experimenting in their home, and then all of a sudden you see them selling it on Instagram or through Etsy, like you said, their home-based products.
Facebook,
right?
Instagram. I got a neighbor that does it, and I had to have them stop because if not, I'm going to weigh 300 pounds from all the cupcakes they're making.
Oh, you had to taste them.
Of course.
So she would know from your taste buds whether they're sellable or not.
Yeah, well, I've given her all the information she needs. She doesn't need to come back anymore. I love them to death, but I can't afford the calories that go along with them, right?
Sounds like a pretty sweet deal to me.
It is.
So you're operating these businesses solely, perhaps with your husband or wife helping you.
Yep.
Or your child at home, and you're able to sell it to the marketplace through what? Through social media?
Basically, a lot of social media stuff, right?
Your neighbors.
And on the internet, Etsy, right? Etsy shops, so on and so forth. Maybe you've got jewelry and you're doing jewelry and you're selling that jewelry through Etsy. There's a lot of Etsy shops out there, right?
And you know what? The market and the public love to shop on their phones because they don't have time to go drive to a store and they don't want to deal with traffic. So these businesses are quite successful.
Yes, they are. And it's quite, it started out as a side gig, but it's really turned into a full-time job for a lot of these people.
Because of social media, because of the ability to market it.
Well, the thing is on the marketing piece, you just really hit the nail on the head. Marketing this is really, it's the cost of entry into the market now with technology is so cheap.
Next to nothing.
Yeah. I mean basically you throw up a Facebook page or whatever and you start selling your product. Yeah.
And so it's really basically free. Like we don't have to pay to market the product. We maybe have to pay in the product itself and put out the money to make these things.
Well,
but
there's always a cost
involved. There's always an outlay.
Right? Yeah. There's always a cost. Not only that, but the shipping piece of it, whatever the case might be, those are going to be some costs incurred too. But that's anywhere you go. Big business has to spend that cost too, right? You got to make the product. You got to ship the product. And as a solopreneur, a micropreneur, you going to incur the same cost.
Some of these micropreneurs do turn it into like a brick and mortar situation where they do go out and expand because they're doing well from their social media marketing and word of mouth. And so then they're able to expand the company if they have that vision to grow bigger. And then they do enter into like maybe a storefront, whatnot, right?
Yeah, a storefront and hire employees,
and
right?
That's how you grow your business.
That's, an easy way to kind of build your business and get your business started.
Correct. Oh, an example of that would be my daughter, Nicole, who I mentioned on a previous podcast.
Yes.
Starting the business from her home and using Instagram as her main source of getting clientele. And she's doing quite well, and her business is growing every day.
There you go.
So number two.
Number two, green, right?
Think green, money.
of entrepreneurship. Yeah, money. But this isn't money.
No,
this is actually
like solar.
This is about sustainability, right? Yes. Core values, eco-friendly businesses,
health conscious.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, there's a big shift from global warming and stuff like that. Now everybody knows, yeah, it pretty much is happening.
It's happening.
And now what are we going to do about it? And younger generations, they almost demand their employers are involved in this. And, you know, how many times have you...
Yeah, they'll select a job, basically.
Right.
To make sure they line up with their core values,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
How many times have you driven by schools now and you see
they popped
in the
up
parking
solar
lot,
panels.
Solar panels everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, you park your car underneath it and go to school.
It's a very visible reminder that this is occurring. And so then when we're shopping, like at Costco, you mentioned like they have bamboo sheets. And when I was in Hawaii I was like,
yeah,
what are bamboo sheets?
I'm like, that's got to hurt. But no, I was checking it out. They're nice and soft.
They are the softest sheets. I actually own them.
You own some?
I love them. Forget about 5,000 count. I mean, we're talking bamboo sheets.
Well, okay. I mean, I saw them last week at Costco. There was a person set up selling it, and I was like, bamboo sheets and pillowcases, what's this? Wow, I was impressed. You know, and then, you know, companies are now recycling plastics and stuff like that and melting them up and reusing them and stuff like that. So, you know, there's that whole cycle of what are you doing to help the world be green?
Yes.
And really reduce that carbon footprint down to at least as far down as you possibly can.
Exactly. And, you know, bringing up plastic, I mean, that's just, there's so much research now behind like drinking water out of plastic water bottles.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you know.
And so
and
there's health awareness around that.
There's something out in the Pacific Ocean, a garbage patch or something like that. That's...
Wow, right?
Yeah, I saw that. This maybe a year or two ago, but there's this big circular patch of just garbage.
Terrible. That
in
is
the ocean.
So upsetting. And so we need to get away from the plastic. We need to be more eco-friendly. We are thinking of that from a health standpoint because so many cancers are developing.
Yes.
And we're trying to figure out where is this coming from, nature versus nurture, the environment or your hereditary gene. And so there's a huge awareness and studies going on a daily basis. So that's what we're seeing out there is just so much marketing around that.
You know, absolutely right. You know, and one of the things, I'm ex-military, right? So I was in Navy. I was on board aircraft carriers flying helicopters. And back in the 1980s, this was not anything that was thought about.
Nobody talked about it.
After the aircraft carriers and cruise ships and everyone else, after they got 20 miles out to sea, they would just throw their garbage overboard.
Are you serious?
Yes.
They would do that? That's what you're talking about, that patch in the ocean.
Yeah, well... You know, we would sit there and you'd have your garbage and you use a knife and you poke a hole in the garbage bag and you just toss it over the fantail.
Would that be called ignorance?
Well, I don't think it was necessarily ignorance. It was just...
We were not enlightened yet.
We didn't know.
Yeah, we didn't know any better.
You know, I've always said this, how do you know what you don't know if you don't know what you don't know?
Exactly.
Well, now we do know.
It's like throwing your chewing gum or something out your car window when you're on the freeway. Like
Yeah.
now you get fined for that, right?
You know,
I've seen a lady once threw a whole banana peel out the window. I was like, what is going on? And, you know, she was like, well, the birds will eat it.
will they?
I don't know. I just was like, okay.
Well,
Maybe she used to be a Navy pilot.
Well, wait a minute now. Hey, wait a minute.
Well,
I
maybe
never
that
threw
was
a banana
Barry.
peel out my helicopter window. Sorry, that didn't happen.
Oh, I know. People are silly sometimes, but we won't go there.
But you know, the thing is really what this is evolving, right? So we've learned from our past experiences, and now we're adapting new procedures and policies to make sure that that doesn't happen again.
Yes, we're on the cutting edge.
So now
of
cruise
information.
ships and carriers, they hold their trash and then they dump it when they get in port.
Properly,
It's
yeah.
still going to a landfill,
Yes.
but there's technologies in landfills of how they're trying to, minimize those.
Yeah.
And, down the street here, there was a landfill, and now guess what? They're building homes on them.
Exactly.
Which is kind of scary.
Yeah.
I don't want to dig a swimming pool and all of a sudden I'm digging up people's trash, but they find a way to decompose it and things like that. So
Yeah.
we're
Human
getting
awareness, it's very important.
We're getting there. Are we there yet? No, we're not, but we will be soon.
It's an ongoing battle.
It is. Ever learning process.
I always say information is power. Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. I've always thought that. I mean, I'm a sponge. I enjoy learning stuff.
Yes, I do too.
And
how to operate more efficiently and correctly and more appropriate for the environment and also your health.
Well, yeah, at my age, I still learn things every day. I try to make a point to learn something new every day.
Well, as an example, we were told to eat a serving of meat, fruits, and vegetables.
Yeah,
right?
well, guess what?
And now it's like, don't eat too much meat.
I'm still a meat and potatoes type of guy, right? I still like me a nice T-bone steak and mashed potatoes
Live
or
off
baked
the
potato.
land, like the Native American Indians.
Yeah.
They lived off the land, and they lived for years and decades.
I had a friend who's a vegetarian vegan.
Yes.
And I told him, you should thank me because I'm eating the animals that eat your food.
Vegetables.
Yes, so I'm getting rid of the middleman
Don't
for
look
you.
at me like that, cross-eyed. I'm doing you a favor.
Exactly. So,
well, let's move on. We're having too much fun today.
We are.
So number 3.
So this next one, number 3, is...
Oh, that's a hot topic.
It is a very hot topic.
It
and it's
raises
a
some
scary
eyebrows.
topic.
Well,
We've
we're
actually...
not familiar with it. That's why.
True,
It's
and we just talked to
on the
somebody
horizon right
who is very concerned about this, and we are too.
Well,
and that
Barry
is
put it out there. He put it out
AI.
there on our Biz Show
I did.
Facebook page, and it did create a really wonderful conversation because I love hearing opposite viewpoints and different people's opinions, and really respecting other people's opinions is where I come from. And so we all are not really too familiar with AI. Maybe we haven't really incorporated it into our businesses or had been forced to use it yet, but it is happening, and it's happening at a fast pace now.
It's happening at a too fast pace. That's alarming, and some concerns going on there. But businesses, I mean, the thing is this. Remember Lance Armstrong, right? And steroids. And in football, steroids. And everybody was on steroids. Well, why are you on steroids? Because I have to keep up with everyone else who's on steroids. In order to compete with them, I have to be on steroids too.
That is a great analogy.
And the thing is AI, you need to adapt into your business at some point, but at what levels, it's hard to say.
Yeah, we want to produce something so fast so we could beat out the competition.
And AI does that.
And
I mean,
that is what that is all
AI
about.
can sit there and build marketing for you or whatever the case might be in seconds, whereas you used to have a whole marketing team. It would take them weeks to come up with something.
And I, for one, I love to speak to a person, a human being. And so I don't trust AI for that reason.
Well, the human touch, right?
Yes.
We all like human touch.
Oh, thank you, Barry.
You're
that
welcome.
felt so good.
Didn't it? But the thing is AI is adapting so fast. It's hard to keep an eye on who's doing what and what AI can do.
Well, my son might be using it for his homework in college.
There you go.
He better not be.
Well,
I'll be very
I don't know if
disappointed.
that's cheating or not, right?
I don't know. Not these days.
But AI does. Here's where AI can really shine in business, right? Take those tedious tasks and the things that are time consuming and free up the human person to do more quality things and more human things by interfacing with other humans, and let the AI handle the back end things, right? Like perhaps data analysis, right? You give it a set of data points and let it go analyze, pull out the trends and stuff like that while you're conversing with your customers and everything else.
So an optimistic way of thinking about that would be okay, so it's creating more time in your day. You're able to bring out the key points, and then you could personalize it, right?
Right,
That's
right.
how I would use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going to dive into AI in the next couple episodes as well, and a couple other items as well. But
my biggest fear with it is just becoming a robot, and not having the human touch anymore. So that's where I have resistance to it, because I love to personalize things and just hit key points.
Well, you and I are people, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I say people, we enjoy sitting in front, talking to people,
Mm-hmm.
and interjecting and conversing with them and having that bonding between us.
Right.
So with AI, you don't really get to do that.
We're going to be like little R2D2s roaming around.
Well, I would rather be an RT-D2 than a Terminator, right? Because the Terminator scares me.
There's going to be a lot of Terminators out there.
Oh, God, help us all.
Yes.
So the next topic is kind of keeping in that thing with AI is
True.
Blockchain, right? The
Blockchain.
decentralization. So blockchain in itself, it's an old terminology. It's not an old terminology. It's a new terminology, but it's an old technology that's kind of been revamped. And I'm just going to go tip of the iceberg on this stuff to kind of explain it in layman's terms. But basically, it's like peer-to-peer networking. And back in the 1990s, when
you had to have a central hub
computers were coming out for businesses, there was no servers, right? So they connected all these computers together. It was a peer-to-peer network. Well, the blockchain is similar to that, but on a much grandiose scale, right? It's thousands, hundreds of thousands of computers all connected,
Yes.
And you're using the computing power of all of those.
You're able to see the documents and data that those thousands of people are inputting and working from different locations, right?
Right.
And able to connect in a way that's just, what do they call that? They call that iCloud, if you're speaking in Apple terms.
Well, it could be cloud-based, definitely. I mean, the biggest example of blockchain is cryptocurrency.
Okay.
Right? So cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, all of that is
there you go.
in blockchain. And
Right.
so it's all kept in a large blockchain, if you will, but on a peer-to-peer network. And, there's securities involved and stuff like that. And
Of course.
and cryptology is involved to encrypt the data that's in there, and only you have that key to get to it. So even though
we're still seeing data breach, though.
we are seeing data breaches,
it's very prevalent.
But blockchain really hasn't been the target. I mean, it is the target, but they haven't really pushed the barriers to bust into it yet.
But you know what? We have a great web securities guy that actually deals with this on a day-to-day basis, data breach for large corporations. And he is wonderful. He actually provides packages and like an insurance, if you will, to have him monitor your computers and your securities system. So if you ever need a vendor like that, I have a fantastic client. He's an ex-client of mine and now friend, and he's part of our team and network. So feel free to reach out.
Definitely so.
Also, I wanted to mention, if you all remember 2020, the millennium, how scared we were to lose our investments in banking institutions, and people were like withdrawing their money, due to this.
Yeah. It's
maybe
funny.
Lack of development with blockchain.
I was involved, and this is kind of along the lines, but a little bit different. But I remember 1999, and we were moving into 2000. I was involved with several colleges and businesses about trying to figure out how we were going to move into the new millennium, because the problem was the computers, the mainframes, and the PCs of the day only had 2-digit years.
Oh, right.
So 99 was going to click over to 00. But the problem is I already had hard-coded in 19 in front of it.
Right.
So everything was going to go back to 1900. So we had to go in and recode everything to get rid of that 19 and then make it a 4-digit.
Wow.
So nobody lost any data, because there was a problem and a theory that if you're in the bank and you got all your money deposited, but all of a sudden it changes back to 1999, guess what? Your money's not there anymore, because,
Right.
You're now 100 years prior to where you are today.
That's what was so scary. But you had firsthand experience with that.
I did.
So you worked on the back end of it.
I worked on the back end of it.
Yeah.
So blockchain, those stories really are not related that much, but in a sense, they kind of follow the same suit.
There you go.
So the next topic is the sense and the power of community, right? And this really boils back to our first topic of the solopreneurs and the micropreneurs in community, right? You've got, the lone wolf entrepreneur out there, so on and so forth.
But you're networking.
You are
without
networking.
even realizing it.
You got your social media. Guess what? LinkedIn is a big place, right? And I have over 4,000 people on my LinkedIn network. And
it's such a fantastic way to communicate with other professionals without having to, drive to the location and set up meetings in person. It's just a great forum.
And just to ask questions, right, of your peers and, perhaps mentors and coaches,
to
right?
help you with your
business.
business.
If you don't know something, it's very easy to put a question out there on LinkedIn, and you're probably going to get 100 answers.
Right.
Some of them you're going to like, some of them you're probably not going to like. Some of them might be accurate, and some of them may be out to lunch. It's up to you to kind of.
But then there's a whole nother list of people that you could find on there if you're, looking to align with something that will help your business.
I probably get about 25 to 30 LinkedIn requests every day to connect. And
that's fantastic, right?
I don't connect with everybody because they don't really kind of fit into what I'm looking to do or my business. But I also take a look. It's like, I want to expand my network, and do I want this type of person in my network?
And you just never know, because it's all about branching out and creating, relationships.
It is
in any business or industry.
And relationships are important in business, because without relationships, you won't have customers. Without customers, you're not going to have cash flow.
Exactly.
You got to have that.
We all love to collaborate.
We do. So this next topic is kind of interesting, right? It's the subscription economy. And
oh my gosh, if I looked at my phone right now, I probably have several subscriptions that I don't even use, but money is going out every month. To these subscriptions that we join, because one day we wanted to hear something and we just signed up for it, and now we have a recurring bill.
You do
going out,
and that's exactly it, right?
Yeah.
And basically, SaaS is software as a service, and it's not just software anymore; it's platforms, right? PaaS.
I thought you were telling me I'm sassy.
You are sassy. You've always been sassy, but software as a service. Think about Microsoft. Right? Back, years back,
you had to get the disc.
You had to get the disc.
We had to drive to the store first.
You had to drive to the store. You had to buy the disc. You had to install it on your computer.
Bring it home. Wait
you
for it
owned
to install.
It cost you $250 to buy it.
Yeah.
You install it on computer. It's yours to use. Today, you still get Microsoft Office, but now you only have to pay $15 for it.
And you buy it online.
And you buy it online and download it onto your computer.
We don't have to move
you pay
anymore.
15. It's right. Your car stays in the garage.
Yeah.
But you pay $15 a month every single month, month in and month out. Yeah. But here's the deal: you got to think about this, right? If you buy Microsoft Office, and I'm just using that as an example. I'm not targeting them per se, but if you buy that at $250, well, it's
permanently.
It's a fixed cost.
Yes.
Software as a service is not a fixed cost. You're going to blow right through that $250 and keep on going. In a couple of years, you might have paid $700
for that,
for the exact same thing that you purchased
you
years
could
ago.
go to the store and buy.
Right.
Yeah. So other examples of subscription.
Adobe.
Yeah.
Adobe, they have their creative cloud services, which has all their suite of products in there. So it's got, Fireworks in there. It's got Adobe in there. It's got PDF, Adobe Reader, and Writer in there. It's got all these different things. Light Show is in there. So you can do your podcasts. You can do your videos. You can do all kinds of stuff. You pay, I think.
CRM systems.
Yeah.
It's a great example.
CRM is a great example. And you just pay for, whatever X amount of dollars a month, and it's there. But, you got to keep paying.
That list is endless.
If you don't keep paying, then you lose your data.
Exactly.
Right? So you got to make sure you got to keep paying. But that's it, right? So the subscription economy, that is a big trend. And you'll see a lot of the big brick and mortar companies, the Microsoft, Apple, Adobe, they've all gone to that model.
So to this point, I had a lady approach me to purchase a business.
Uh-huh.
And we were talking about this specific industry of like a dance studio where you could take Zumba classes and exercise fitness classes from a teacher. And we were talking about subscriptions and packages, and you're not having to like physically be there and monitor the dance studio, but actually set up a phone app to where they can purchase the package that they want and have a calendar tied to it and take these classes at the location.
Yeah.
And that would be a subscription and a way to get business. So I told her that Barry has the experience and the service that he can offer to set that phone app up for her so that she could operate her business at a more efficient way and also be able to offer that to her service, to her clients.
You know, and that's a good example in the fact that
So we do that for you, just so that you know. We do that back end stuff.
that's, you know, so with InvestQuire, right? So yes, we are business brokers, buying and selling businesses, mergers and acquisitions, but we have management, business, and technology services also.
Yes, and
those are some of those services that we do offer. You can check out our website at investquire.com. Go to the services page, just scroll down to the bottom, and you'll see the different types, the 3 silos of the different services that we offer.
Or if you like the human touch, just call us.
Call us and talk to us, please.
I would love to have a
they
conversation.
can look at that. Give us a call, and then
Yes.
we'll come out and meet with you, or do a Zoom call, whatever the case might be.
Yeah, we're here to
I
deliver.
do like meeting in person.
Yes.
And I like the fact that right now, today, Lisa, you and I are in the same room having and
Right.
doing this podcast instead of you someplace else and me someplace else,
Yes, this
looking at it each other through the computer monitor.
Disclaimer, this is not an AI podcast.
This is not. We talked about AI.
We should have that on all of our podcasts.
Yes.
We are real people.
We are real people.
So the gig, huh? What's your next gig?
Yeah, that's it.
What's the
so,
gig,
so
baby?
topic number 7 is
Yeah.
gig economy.
Do we have
right?
to punch a time clock? I haven't done that in years, decades.
Well, that's really kind of what the whole gig economy is about, right?
Yeah.
It's about, again,
Creating
the
your own-
solopreneur,
Yep.
the micropreneur, but taking on gigs is like taking on projects,
Yep.
right? So you got a project here, project here, project here, and guess what?
Freelancing.
Yeah, it's freelancing, and you get to choose which projects you want to take.
And you could expand your income because you could do several things without having to be hired by the corporation.
Exactly. Well, so when you're hired by the corporation dictates what you're going to do, right?
From 9 to 5.
And you
or-
might not want to do it, but you know you're part of the company economy, and you know you need to do it. Whereas if you back out, you become a solopreneur and you're doing gigs, you're looking at projects. You get to choose the projects you want to do, and you get to pass on the projects you don't want to do.
So how many times have you sat in the back seat of an Uber and you're thinking, I wonder what this guy did or does in addition to Uber driving? But he created another stream of income by taking on some extra clients and driving them to their locations through Uber, through the Uber app.
Yep.
If I remind you, that's an app also.
That is.
And he's making money at it, right? And maybe he quit his 9-to-5 job because he's making so much money. In fact, I did a financial analysis of a client that was looking to purchase a home, and they were making $10,000 a month driving Uber.
Really?
So that was their 9-to-5.
All right, maybe I need to think about that.
Yeah.
But you know, you hit the nail on the head, or the head on the nail, however it goes.
I think it's the nail on the head.
I think it's the nail on the head, yes. But Fiverr, right? Uber,
Fiverr is an
DoorDash,
example.
those are all gig, right? So the gig economy where you are
Rover.
growing.
Yeah.
So side hustles, but these side hustles have turned into full-time gigs.
And it allows you to be your own boss and have the work-life balance that we're all really striving to have, because when we are in the grind or sitting on the 405 in traffic, I mean, we are getting ourselves stressed. And again, the whole world is going green. We're going into health and nutrition and awareness of cancer and diseases that we could get. So that's why these outlets for these other streams of income are just so wonderful.
We're in Southern California, so there's a lot of smog here. And, you know, I tease some of my friends that are at other places in the United States that, like, hey, I moved down here because I want to see the air I breathe. I want to know what's going on in my lungs. I can see it.
I'm in the bubble, okay? I live by the beach. It blows right over.
There you go.
Yeah.
But, you know, you keyed in on that, right? And one of the key things is you don't punch a clock. You set your own hours.
It's so
If you want to go
empowering.
in and work
Yeah.
at 8 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning, you can.
It's
if you want to work
opportunity.
at 2 in the afternoon, you can.
Yes.
You know, that's...
Or you could say no.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go drive the Uber. I'm not going to take that freelance project because I have too many things on my plate right now. So it's creating so much freedom and opportunity. It's wonderful. I'm all about it.
It is.
Yeah.
Number 8 is the hyper local.
So the key word in that is local.
That is the key word.
And what does that mean?
Well, the trend is a lot of so with the internet and everything, we've gone global.
You can invite the people through the internet and networking and all the things that we've talked about to your local community.
But there is a trend of really pushing back to the local economy, right? People are starting to want authentic experiences and touching and face-to-face communication.
Because of all the technology.
Yes, technology has created a void.
Distant.
Yeah, it's a distance between people.
Disconnect is the word I was looking for. And COVID really catapulted us into that. You know, we were really without people for almost a year or however long the shutdowns were. They were on and off. But so that is why people are really craving it, you know, post-COVID now. And so we're going into wineries and breweries and finding all these different events that we could be face-to-face with people again. It's a wonderful thing, right?
It is a wonderful thing. And, you know, let me tell you a story here. I enjoy, and that's not necessarily a story, but, you know, my own personal preferences. If I'm going out to dinner at a restaurant and I got a choice of a chain
like
Applebee's or Chili's, or the local mom and pop store on the corner. Right. I'm going to 80% of the time I'm going to choose the local mom and pop store because you're
supporting your community.
Supporting the community. I know them. They're my neighbors. You know, we're together. And if I'm going to the big chains, well, who knows where that money's going? It's probably going to go line the pockets of the executives of those corporations and stuff like that.
Yeah. So that's
so good. I want to try and keep the money local if I can. And I want to make sure that I'm supporting my local people because, and I say that wholeheartedly in the fact that I want to make sure that business doesn't shut down, right?
Right.
I want to keep them energized and going and making money because that also hires people. They got employees and, you know, all companies and businesses have employees, but this is my next door neighbors that I'm employing if I go there.
And on the consumer side of that experience, as you said, it's so inspiring to see that this family started this business and they put in the hard sweat, blood, and tears.
Blood, sweat, and tears, yeah.
And they really enjoy it. It's their passion. So from a consumer standpoint, it's inspiring. It actually creates, you know, ideas for me to, you know, do another business myself or
passion. It's all about passion, right?
Or want to branch into another industry. So I think it's wonderful to support the local businesses.
It is. And the last piece, well, not the last one, we still got 2 more to go, right? So number 9 is wellness, mental wellness. You know, when I've been the past CEO of several different companies, and I am different than most CEOs, right? I see employees as assets to the company. However, most CEOs and CFOs see employees as liabilities because that's the biggest line on the P&L is payroll. So when the tough gets going, they start cutting that line, which is employees, and doing layoffs.
Well, employees weren't treated that greatly, you know, back in the day. It was more about the, you know, production and are they showing up? And there was like maybe a lack of compassion and appreciation.
There is.
Right?
So I have always been, as a people person, I like to connect with all my employees, all the way from, you know, somebody who might be the janitor all the way, you know, to the CFO or the board of directors. So I was always on the floor every day talking to everybody, making sure that they had the resources and the tools they need. And now let's talk about...
Then you were ahead of the trend because the trend now is to provide resources in the workplace. Like we have in my office a a foosball table or something like that.
Right.
We have a couch with a television and a full stocked refrigerator. Like, we have corporations that are having gym facilities with free gym membership.
Corporations now bringing in gyms. They even have masseuses come in on a certain day to give their employees free massages and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, you just
it's
sign up
all
for a
about the
slot.
wellness of the employees.
Because they want them to be more efficient and productive. And so if they do have, that available to them, then they're going to have a happier employee, right?
Exactly. And it promotes the work-life balance. So, those are things that the new employees are demanding corporations provide.
Yeah, and I've always been self-employed, but, now corporations provide mental health days, whereas they only gave you a vacation.
Yeah.
Paid vacation. So now there's mental health days that you could take. And like I said, stress management classes. I have a guy that actually goes into businesses, and he says whoever wants to come in the class during lunch, he does like a yoga and breathing exercise class just to kind of, de-stress and decompose from the morning that you had, working. And it's just great because then you go back to work feeling great, right?
You do. I remember in California, some of my older jobs, you get vacation, right? You get 2 weeks a year.
Right.
And there used to be a time in California that you could sell that vacation time back.
Right.
And I've done it a couple times, and I've always regretted doing it because I really needed the downtime.
You should have taken the vacation,
I should have
Barry.
taken it, but instead I took the money, which was another week's or 2 weeks worth of pay, right?
It's because you have a love for work and you're passionate about it, so it's not really feeling like work to you.
My work is, I enjoy my work.
There needs to be more people like you.
Yeah, well,
Another thing that companies are doing are like team building events. They'll take you out for the day out of the office. And so you could really connect and learn about the people that you're working with on your team.
I used to do team building events. We used to go out and race go-karts.
How
so
fun.
That was fun, man.
Yeah.
We really had a blast. But we created, company softball teams.
Right.
We went golfing. We played tennis. We did all kinds of different
Picnics
things.
or barbecues.
That it just kind of gets people out and kind of gets them interacting with one another outside of the workplace.
Yes, so you can have a more cohesive work environment.
Well, you get to know your fellow employees and kind of what makes them tick. And then also that can help you understand how they're motivated and how them to understand how you're motivated.
Exactly. There's a lot of positives.
Right.
So
And
the
then
last one is what?
Lifelong learning. And I'm a prime example of that, right? I'm an old guy.
Yeah.
And I still learn everything every day, right? Matter of fact, I just signed up for a class. Online.
Yeah.
It's a 13-week class, and it's a pretty intense class, but I still enjoy learning, and I don't think you're ever too old not to learn.
Yes, exactly. That's what I said earlier. Knowledge is power, and that's really key to developing yourself in any work industry. I mean, you really want to continue being ahead of the game and knowing what you could do to expand yourself, right?
Right. Well, I have my post-secondary teaching credentials, and I used to teach business, and I used to teach computer sciences at some very well-known colleges and universities. But still, I learned too. Just because I was a teacher and an instructor doesn't mean that I know everything.
No, because technology is changing on a second-by-second basis.
Exactly. And technology, it's funny that you said that, because technology every 6 months is refresh. So if you buy technology today, 6 months from now,
it's outdated.
It's Jurassic Park.
Yeah, just like our cell phones.
Yeah. And it's a doorstop. Just hold the door open with it.
I know. It's so frustrating, but it's also wonderful.
It is.
But you do need to take the classes and invest the time. So when you invest in yourself, it brings you a whole arena of rewards.
You just said it. You're investing in yourself.
So take those online classes, learn more about your industry or even something that is unrelated to your industry, and just expand your mind, expand your thinking.
Enjoy. My wife, she loves ancestry and digging in the family history and stuff.
And she gets all that information
I call
from
her
the internet?
She's my dirt digger, right? So she's digging up bones.
Oh, wow.
That's what I say. Oh, you're digging up bones today. But man, that's her passion, right? And so now she's taking some classes and learning some stuff.
Yeah.
And there's always time to learn something.
That's very cool. That's a great example.
Well, listen, that's it for us today on this podcast. And we want to thank you guys for tuning in and listening.
Thank you all for listening to our podcast. We're seeing the level of listeners go up every day, every week, as we've been now doing these podcasts. This is week 4. This
is episode number 4. By the way, we've got like 89 of these set up.
I know.
So we're going to be around a while.
Lots of topics to learn from.
You name the topics are going to go from business to HR, to marketing, to sales, to finance,
insurances.
Yes, a little bit of everything. And
we learn from you. So the more that you comment on our Facebook pages, the Biz Show page, or we get to meet you in person at an event here locally, I mean, it just helps us become more cutting edge as well.
Yes, please. If you've got a topic that you want to hear about, let us know. And we can, make sure that we can include that in our lineup of shows for you guys. And you can reach us at, investchoir.com or on the Biz Show Facebook page. You'll find Lisa and me there. And we will answer you. And we'll, have some topics that we can discuss and figure out what we're going to do next.
Sounds like a plan. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Signing
you guys
off.
enjoy and have a great day.